Born on the 25th of December 1976 in Gallup, New Mexico, Anthonette Cayedito was a Native American girl. She was born to Penny Cayedito of the Navajo Nation and Anthony Montoya, who was of Italian and Hispanic descent. Anthonette lived with her mother, Penny, and two sisters, Wendy and Sinida, in Gallup, New Mexico. As a person, Anthonette has been described as smart, wise, caring, friendly, and as someone who was dependable. At school, she was known for having a kind nature and always caring for others. She was described by her sister as having a caregiver's heart. She has been attending Lincoln Elementary School, was in the 4th grade, and had been above average and enjoyed sports and engaging in activities. Anthonette went missing in the early hours of the 6th of April 1986. There have been a number of different accounts of how the disappearance occurred. The first account given to investigators was as follows: during that night, Anthonette, Wendy, and Sinida were home with their babysitter while their mother, Penny, was out at a bar. Arriving home around midnight, Penny sent the babysitter home and Penny went to sleep. The next day, Anthonette, Wendy, and Sinida were meant to go to Bible school, so Penny woke in the morning to get her daughters ready and to take them there. That is when she noticed that Anthonette wasn't in her bedroom, which prompted Penny to check with their neighbors in case Anthonette was with any of them. When she realized that she wasn't, Penny called the police. Police came out and had searched the surrounding foothills but found nothing. A man did come forward to tell detectives that he had knocked at Penny's door and window as he and Penny had both had an argument earlier at the bar, so he had wanted to talk to her. He left and walked to his friend's house down the road, where he slept for the rest of the night. This was corroborated by his friend. The second version of events came 5 years later, when Wendy, by then 10 years old, said to detectives that on that night, another man had knocked at their door and said that he was their Uncle Joe. Anthonette went to open the door and was grabbed by two men while Anthonette screamed at them to let her go as they forced Anthonette into a brown van. Wendy said she hadn't recognized the two men and didn't see their faces. Wendy said she hadn't told her mother about this at that time because she didn't want to upset her. Her sister, Sinida, said that she never heard any of that happen. Their real Uncle Joe was cleared by police. A neighbor told detectives that on that morning, he had seen an older model brown truck that had New Mexico license plates, around 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. and had observed a man leave the truck and walk towards Anthonette's home. Police became suspicious of Penny because she had failed a polygraph test and allegedly made a few expensive purchases after the disappearance, and also, they had heard that Penny was involved in selling drugs, although this has not been confirmed. Before they had a chance to question Penny, however, she passed away in 1999. Another thing that stood out to investigators is that during a search of their home after the disappearance, Penny told an officer that man who was nicknamed Emo had given flowers to Anthonette 3 times in the days leading up to her disappearance, although only brought this up after someone else had mentioned it. The last version of what happened that night from Penny came in 1994 while she was being interviewed by the FBI. This version is a drastic change from the original report given at first. Penny stated that she had been with Anthonette, heard a knock at the door and said that she had told Anthonette to answer the door, while she carried on laying in bed. She laid in bed for another 30 minutes while Anthonette never returned from answering the door. She then got up from her bed after 30 minutes to try and find her. Penny said that knock happened anywhere from 3:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m., and that when she got up after that 30 minutes had passed, it was starting to get light outside. That same year, Penny was with police when she asked them, "So what if me and Emo did this?" Could we both go to prison? Penny then explained that she and Emo had concocted a plan before the disappearance about Anthonette going as she had become too hard to handle. Penny said that while they were discussing their plan, Penny had told Emo she wanted to know where and the details, and she was told it was better if she doesn't know. Penny admitted that on that day, she had known who was coming to take Anthonette and she had deliberately told Anthonette to open the door knowing what was about to happen. Although Penny confessed and the FBI believed Penny was involved in her daughter's vanishing, she was never charged. Anthonette's sister, Sinida, recently said that she believes her mother, Penny, had some involvement in Anthonette's disappearance. Sinida recently explained what took place that night. She said that as their mother was getting ready to go to the bar, Emo had come over to their house and brought flowers and a necklace for Anthonette. Emo had Anthonette sit on his lap as he spoke to her, although Sinida doesn't know what was said, but noticed that Anthonette appeared scared. She said that Emo had given Anthonette flowers the night before that as well. There have been numerous calls, sightings, and tips over the years. On the April 9, 1986, the Sheriff's Department received a call from a woman telling them to search a local cemetery in Gallup. She then hung up. A search was conducted but nothing was found. Around a year after the disappearance, in 1987, a call came into the Gallup police station, with a female voice saying that she was Anthonette Cayedito, and that she was in Albuquerque. Then an unknown voice said to her, "Who said you could use the phone?" The girl screamed and the call ended. Police replayed the phone recording to Penny, who said she was certain the girl was Anthonette due to the way the girl had pronounced her name. She said she didn't recognize the other person's voice. Police were not successful in tracing where the call had come from. 5 years after the disappearance, in 1991, a waitress came forward about an incident where she believes she had served Anthonette at the restaurant where she worked at. She had seen a man, woman, and a girl around the age of 14 or 15, and they had all appeared unkempt. The girl deliberately dropped her utensils on the floor, and when the waitress would bend down to pick them up, the girl would grab her hand. The three of them left, and as she was cleaning their table, she found a napkin under the girl's plate, with "Please help me, call the police" written on the napkin. In 1992, Penny went to a Navajo medicine woman who conducted a special ceremony where she can contact spirits, and said that Anthonette is still alive and may have a child but is being held against her will in the southwest of the United States. In 2003, after seeing an age progression picture, a woman in Elk Grove Village in Illinois said that she believes she saw Anthonette in her community. In 2015, an anonymous caller told investigators that she might have seen Anthonette in Las Vegas, Nevada. She said she also believes that Anthonette might have children. Anthonette Cayedito was born on the 25th of December 1976 in Gallup, New Mexico, and disappeared on the 6th of April 1986. She was 9 years old at the time of her disappearance, and if still alive, would be 46 years old at the time of this video. She was last seen wearing a knee-length pink nightgown and possibly a silver chain with a small cross-shaped turquoise pendant. Her height was 4'7" and she weighed 55 pounds, had brown hair and brown eyes. She had moles on her right cheek, nose, ankle and back, and scars on her knee and lip. She also has pierced ears. If anyone has any information regarding Anthonette Cayedito, please contact the Gallup Police Department on 505-863-9365 or contact the FBI on 505-889-1300.